Hey guys, Kane here, and in this video, we're gonna more or less review or check one of the people which I have dueled in Duel Tower and more or less talk about his heroes, his army, his equipment, and stuff like that. What did he do wrong, and what people may learn from either formation building or equipment, something that they can improve, so perhaps this may not happen in such a case if they would meet me or somebody similar. So, first things first, we're gonna notice that the pet level is different, and as well as the pet stars. Now, I'm not entirely sure what server this person is. Maybe he's on a newer server, and that can easily be explained. However, if we take the person, if he is playing on a similar, let's say, server as me, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a bit later, the pet should be a pretty similar level if he had been clearing Kingdom Guardian to the max level, if he had any average luck for pets as well, because I didn't really spend any Linari on the pets at all. So this is just basically daily farming the pet for as long as the feature was released, and it's level 72. So seeing a 65 essentially means either he's in a newer server or he didn't really do the dual tower dailies or he didn't clear Kingdom Guardian properly. So we have to take that into consideration that this person may not be as active as me or quite a few others. So that aside, the next thing that I'd like to check is the dragon. So I've checked him a bit before, and I've noticed that he has the blessed pyroblast, which is a pretty much useless skill on the dragon, as well as the blessed meteor storm. Now he doesn't have any rage abilities in here, and like these two skills, the pyroblast and the meteor storm, makes this dragon almost as useless as dragons can be with improper skills. So basically, like those two skills makes his dragon pretty much almost worthless. And in that term of sense, like he can have a good dragon even with like 7 skills and a legendary or whatever, but he would require to have like proper skills. And the reason like these skills are very bad is because they put your dragon into a stance like casting time. Like, have you played World of Warcraft where you have mages, you click a spell and you have like 2 or 3 seconds cast time and you cannot move or do anything else? So basically, that is the skills that this dragon has, and nothing else can proc during them. So, for example, if the dragon would have let's say repulse. Let me just go back to my dragon. So for example, if the dragon would have repulse, and then if it was a fire dragon like his, he would have incendiary scales. I think he has, yeah, this one. So repulse and incendiary scales can proc over and over and overlap and etc. However, the blessed incendiary scales will not proc as well during these two useless skills because it is like a casting delay or whatever it is. So pretty much like he has to remove those two skills to have his dragon perform decently. So that is one of the things kind of bad on his field. The other thing, I've checked his frontline, and his frontline is rather quite good. Now, I personally, I haven't really researched the human frontline. However, the stats it has in the version of evade, chance, in the version of crit resistance, healing received, all the other resistances, it actually has a lot more than my Blade Masters. So even the enemy crit rate reduction, like all of these stats that the Swordman has, are a lot higher than mine, as well as he has a lot more stats. He has reduced damage from arrows, and Myra Khan has like reduced damage taken for some seconds. So pretty much I think his frontline is or should be a bit better than mine in terms of stats and in terms of HP, as well as he has a lot more buffers in the version of a human hero, so his frontline should be a lot more tankier. Now, going towards the archers, I do believe like the amount of attack his archers have is pretty damn low. Currently, my archers have 1.26 million, but I think I've messed up one of my prisms. I think I should have 1.3 million here, and if I would swap to human archers, I think that should be 1.4 and a half or 1.5 million attack. So if I would have tier 17 archers, I think I would be 100 or 200,000 above him already. So for some reason, either his runestone, or rather temple, or his reliquary doesn't really have a lot of army attack stuff upgraded. Not entirely sure if that's the case, but that does seem like a pretty huge number is missing from here. In the version of stats, he has an insane amount of accuracy. He has an average crit rate for human archers. I think, even without the crit rate percent gears, can have more than him already, I do believe. In the version of crit hit damage, I have less on the Rakan archers, but if I swap to human archers, I would have more, at least from what I have noticed when I was doing events before. So these two stats on him are pretty low for a human archer, I suppose. Accuracy is insane. Like these archers are not gonna miss anything, and the other stats are not really as important. However, he's using these Zen archers, which is not very good in the current meta. So Zen archers are good if you can really get those morale boosts very early on to make them skyrocket in damage. However, if you don't get those morale boosts going, the Zen archers don't perform as well as the dire ones, which are the red ones, which have like physical resistance reduction, something like that. So yeah, the red archers is like very, very crucial here. I'm not entirely sure about the dire saints. I haven't really looked into them quite a bit. However, I do think they're quite decent. He has almost level 45 for more healing. In the version of the gears, the stats, I cannot really say anything about the stats because I don't know what the healer should have, or what we can see in those stats. So we're gonna leave that behind for now. Now we're gonna start checking the heroes. So first things first, like Yip is the most crucial hero in the human formation, right? And the first glance, like his equipment are pretty god awful. And by pretty god awful is like his trinkets are pretty useless for a hero, which is buffing archers for quite a bit of damage. And his ability as a human player is level 7. Like this skill is the most important for humans in, let's say, one of the most important in the human formation. So for example, even as Rakan, I have 1 second, level 10 tailwind. So look at this, 70% compared to 1 second, compared to 40%. So the difference is friggin' damn high. So the thing, like his equipment is not really that good on him. The prism usually doesn't matter. It really matters on the equipment and what he has. So comparing the one that I have, there is really a pretty huge difference even in the command. So, yeah, that was one of his core heroes, which he kind of made a huge mistake, or other mistakes in his abilities as well as equipment. So the second one is Avalon, and I also see huge mistakes in here. So the Dragon Lord's set is, I think, okay for the human archers. I don't really mind it. I don't use it personally because I use the other one, the Dragon set, which would make the Rakan archers not morale decay instantly. Um, the weapon is okay, however, the trinkets are pretty god awful for a human. Like, he has two abilities which he has to upgrade, which is the Archer Mastery and then the Ardent Aura as a human. Like, these two have to be level 10. So he's missing a lot of percentages just because he's trying to grant a couple of bonuses towards like those archers. So I don't think this is that crucial. Like, I mean, I could be pulling stuff out of my arse, but personally, I would. If I am playing a specific race and I'm buffing my entire field with one hero, I want that skill to be level 10 just to make sure that I get the most out of it. So as you can see, I'm Rakan humanoid units are on my field and the percentage is 46. So that is how it should be. The itemization is, like I said, the dragon set, so the Rakan archers won't morale decay. And I am kind of, needing command, but I also want the other trinket to not be completely useless. So I use a little bit less stats on the trinket, but I have a hero bonus to grant damage mitigation every some seconds to a friendly troop. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but essentially, if it works as it said, perhaps it will help out on my field. Essentially, if I don't use this in particular, I have like over 260 command. So that aside, we're just gonna check like one of the main heroes, not like all of the heroes on the field, because that would take too long. So, like, talk equipment is pretty god awful as well. Like, even talk is buffing an entire field in the version of like Feng Shui Master and Prophetic Trance and stuff like that. So at least he made Prophetic Trance level 10. Feng Shui Master is okay, I'll give it its level 8. However, why the hell does he need this? Like, he has the weapon which does this on friggin' Avalon. One moment. Yeah, like this, he has that weapon and the bonus on Avalon. So why does he have a friggin' useless weapon on friggin' Talk? So that is like one of like mistakes that people don't realize, that the effects do not stack. So if you have a divine class weapon, if you put on a legendary weapon, that doesn't mean that these effects are different. They're exact same effects, just that the other equipment provides more stat bonuses. Now, in terms of the equipment, I suppose we can hand the other ones as a pass. I mean, the guy can't be just going for might and stamina and stuff like that. This is might and stamina, so perhaps, who knows, but what I'm using myself is basically a Drake set, similar equipment as well. However, I just noticed that I can actually change this helmet myself to have more might and stamina, because I am using the friggin' Drake set, and I only realized that now that I can swap that helmet. Whoops. Alright, so going towards the other heroes, I suppose Rufio is quite crucial in a human formation. His Rufio is decked out in the version of the equipment, best equipment he can have. The artifact is 5 stars. Wave power is level 8, so that is good. Abilities, I think the abilities are pretty good. Probably can be more upgraded in the version of like Fearless to level 10 or something like that, but I do believe most of the abilities are quite okay. So his Rufio is pretty friggin' decked out. However, for some reason, he doesn't have Rufio level 62, but he has things like Balrog level 62. I don't know why, because this Rufio's the friggin' bomb on his field, and he can do insane amounts of damage. So going towards Virion, and I already see huge mistakes on the Virion. So the thing is, like, let's take a look at this. So the thing this is, it adds a percentage bonus to the Crusader shield, and he requires to have morale boosts. Now, this skill is not like insanely effective on, say, humans, unless you are able to get those morale boosts. So, for example, since I am Rakan, I can ail the Rakan units and they enter the morale boost. Since he's human, he cannot really enter morale boost as efficiently as, let's say, the Rakan, so he doesn't require an equipment to actually buff the Crusader shield. And instead, I would kind of suggest the Crusader Resurrection to be the better one. I mean, his army is pretty goddamn tanky, and the more stuff he ends up reviving, the better it may be for his formation. Like this thing is not going to save his field as the Crusader Resurrection could. Now, in the version of his skills, I don't think that he should upgrade this skill in particular, and instead spend his points on Crusader's Resurrection or Crusader Shield. And even if he would spend it on Crusader Resurrection, he could use an equipment and then make this skill level 6. And I think on 6 he would revive 6 light infantry and 29 or 30 upon casting the skill, which is again like more than one swordman squad. Pretty crucial for a formation like that. Now, Alana, I think his Alana should be okay. The equipment are, I suppose, decent. He doesn't have the Drake set or any other set. He's going for the command, might, and stamina. His ability is level 6, so this one is pretty okay. I don't think he should have this skill upgraded. Instead, just level this particular one to level 9. Other than that, I suppose that's okay. In the version of Valerie, Valerie has pretty god awful equipment. So let's check the damage, right? So his highest damage is his archers. So his Nora doesn't do damage. Basric Sizo, even like his Valerie, is not doing damage. Now let's check or rather, for the reason why. So his formation is basically he has a lot of squishy targets in the very front line in the version of Yips, Raxius, Valerie. Yeah, pretty much. I do believe that this side I had my Avril on and pretty much killed the Yip and the Valerie early on. So he kind of lost the crucial units on his field from the get-go, and the others the thing is, I don't understand why he's putting Virion in the very back, the same as like Sizo, and not putting something like Yip in the back, or Valerie or Raxius in the back. Like, for example, if his frontline is properly upgraded and not dying and buff, like if you would put Valkyrie's banner on Lunella and have it buff like these two squads, I'm using it as an example, right? In the version of the formation that he has, he would buff these two squads with one artifact. He would have Astrarian Fati on this artifact. If he would swap, let's say, Virion with Valerie and Astrarian Fati on the Virion, as an example on my own, right? I have this on him with Astrarian Fati. And then he would have like frontline, which is pretty tanky and also not morale boosting very early on. And at the same time, he has talk, which is walking towards the front line. Talk is a general. meaning he has to be in the very back line or he's just gonna walk forward. So basically, his dragon has to be in front of top. So if I could give you an example, the example would be like this right here. Now my formation is all over the place. However, it's working, and essentially I currently have like a burst side and a stall side, and due to Avril being OP on my field, basically my stall side is my burst side most of the cases, because most of the people try to CC my burst side. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they fail. So pretty much, I've checked quite a bit on his field in the version of like just the buffs on his field, just like the formation, stuff like that. Let's check how the fight goes and what happened that I won. Oh no, unfortunately, it wasn't the squishy side against my Avril. So, his squishy side was against my burst side. So basically, I casted Blizzard on his front line. I see Gan dying. I see Lunella almost dead. I see Alana. Alana has died on his field, and my magic damage in terms of Avril, in terms of Valerie the dragon, they just started decimating the front line on the left side. So pretty much, Rakan archers sniped crucial targets. His heroes on this side are almost all dead, because like most of his heroes were, I don't know, man. Maybe it's very hard to make a human formation or something, but I have a lot easier time actually keeping my heroes alive in the Rakan formation than I do in, let's say, or rather, I see people in human formations. So yeah, pretty much the right side, Rakan archers and Avril just destroyed Alana, and then the left side, Valerie and Dragon just completely decimated the front line. I tagged this dragon, and that was pretty much it. Nothing too special. It was just pretty much the buffs on the field are different, the damage, the heroes, and stuff like that. So the other thing I would like to mention as well is I don't think he has a lot of good stats on his heroes as well, even though we have very similar core. So the basic example could be, let's say, the Nora. So wait, I think Nora has more stats than my Nora. One moment. No, I have more attack but less HP. And Bazrik, his Bazrik has 1.3. My Bazrik, no, his heroes are pretty decent. I suppose not very insane, but he is upgrading somewhat properly, so at least I'll give him that in the version of the stats of heroes. But pretty much, quite a few of the issues lie in the abilities of the heroes, the dragon being almost useless, the formation, let's say, failures kind of made him so that he is granting a lot of morale boost to the enemy. And if he's facing a Rakan, they just need like 1 or 2 morale boost, and then they just completely scale the fight to their favor. So you have to kind of try to form a formation where you do not give so many morale boosts to the enemy, and try not to put squishy heroes in the very front line in the version of like general sages, stuff like that. You kind of want them to stay a little bit behind and then walk forward. Otherwise, if you start them so close at the very beginning, even a simple Rakan Archer Ale or Avril or Valerie, they can just one-shot them like 2 seconds in the battle. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully this video was useful to you, and let me know what you want to see in the next videos as well, or what kind of races do you want me to inspect. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.